Barry.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Good. You down in Florida?
Yes, I am.
Damn it.
So I guess the big question we got to get into right away, Barry, is what have you guys been up to? Feels like it's been forever since we heard from Shinedown. What's been going on, man?
It has been forever. You know, we took a little bit of time after touring for, 2+ years on the last record, and then we started writing the new one, which we're done recording, and we're in the process of mixing and mastering right now, and should have you guys a single here at the end of June, I believe.
Man, a new Shinedown single? That sounds awesome. Now, what was the difference in the process of writing this new one? Anything different?
Not really different. I think we've all just grown as musicians, and we never try to do the same record twice. So it's got a different sound, but it still sounds like Shinedown. You're never going to change Brent's voice and his intensity. So it's just another growth for us. We look at the Rolling Stones and the U2s of the world and how they're able to just constantly stay new and fresh, and people still listen to them, and we want to be one of those bands, and we aspire to be one of those bands. So that's kind of the path we're on, and hope everybody loves it. But I'm really stoked about this record. I think it's one of my favorites so far. So I'm excited, and hopefully everybody else is too.
Yeah, and like most rock fans, when it comes to a new album of one of their favorite bands coming out, they pretty much think of it in two ways. Is it going to be heavier, or is it going to be the same or not as heavy? So, like, where do you think that this new album is going to fall into, Shinedown-wise? Heavier, a little lighter, maybe more progressive? In that type of sense, what's the sound going to be like?
It's heavier.
Oh, right on.
I think it's heavier. I think the subject matter is heavier. There's a darker undertone, a little bit more anger and aggression in the songs, and even when you get to ballads and some of those songs, there's just a heavier overtone. You can't say a ballad's a heavy song, but there's just a heavier overtone in a good way to the whole record. So I think it's definitely, the whole record as a whole carries a lot of weight, a lot of heaviness in that way. Fast punk rock kind of stuff necessarily, but just has a weight to it that's heavier.
Now, we were just down right outside Minneapolis at Northern Invasion, big festival. It's one of those loudest month of rock festivals. You got Rock on the Range coming up. You guys taking time off. You see, all your friends are in bands and things like that. They're playing all these festival shows. You being at home still before the tour begins, do you get like a little antsy, being like, oh, I wish we could play that show?
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely driving me crazy watching these. And being one of the bands that is fortunate enough after all these years to be one of the, not maybe headlining or at least up in the top of those festivals, to see them happening and we're not there, it's just like, I want to be there. But I know we'll be there next year. And it's all going to work out for the better. And we had a big one here in Jacksonville, Florida called Welcome to Rockville, which is a 2-day fest, 30,000 people every day. And I happened to be out of town and didn't get to see it and see all my friends. I was recording a soundtrack up in Charleston, so I'm definitely chomping at the bit to get back on the road and see all my friends and play these festivals.
Yeah, and that's actually where we're going to see you guys next this summer, Moondance Jam in Walker, Minnesota. It's on July 18th that you guys are actually closing it down, last band that's going to be playing. And Gunnar and I, this is like the one thing every single year that we look forward to more than anything. We love Moondance Jam because it's in one of the nicest spots in all of Minnesota. There's just trees all over the place, lakes. Like when you think Minnesota, it's exactly what you think about. So we're pretty stoked to see you guys there. And when you guys go out on the road and you do these festival shows, how do they differ from, say, seeing Shinedown in an arena or in a big club? What's the difference?
It's just a different vibe when you have that outdoor thing going on, especially up there this time of year when it's just gorgeous. I mean, July up in y'all's area is just wonderful, where the outdoor shows down here in the South are just miserable because it's so hot and humid. It's just a different vibe. I think when you see Shinedown in the club, it can be a little bit more intimate because you're right on top of each other. In arena, the last few times we've done arenas, we had the Carnival of Madness, and it had that kind of vibe with video and fire. And then when we do these outdoor festivals, there's some lighting there, but it's just us, the lighting, and a large amount of people. So it's just a cool vibe. I dig it.
Yeah, I see another one of the shows that you guys have lined up for the summer, Sturgis. Now, Chow over here, he's going to be down in Sturgis. Yeah. Have you ever played a show there before?
We have, a couple times. Years ago, I think we did it in, I want to say it was 2006, and then previously with Three Doors Down, back when we toured with them in the early days of Shinedown.
Yeah, did you guys get the treatment with all the bikes just going crazy after every single song?
Yeah, especially you can imagine when we do the Leonard Skinner cover. Sturgis, so I think they'd lynch us behind a bike if we didn't play that song.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a good time there always. It's great people watching. The amount of just weird, crazy stuff you see at Sturgis is worth it.
We went last year, and it was a really good time. Chow over here, he actually threw up in his pants while standing at a bar and then didn't change his pants the rest of the time we were there. And we were there for days, so anything can happen there. But,
rock and roll, man. It's rock and roll.
Yeah. Now, you guys are totally at, like, the top. You got Shinedown, you have 3 Days Grace. You only have a few of these bands that are definitely at the top, over the past 15 years. All these hits, things like that. Is that a lot of pressure? Do you guys feel the pressure when recording or out on the road, things like that?
I think when recording, we always put pressure on ourselves, but not necessarily it's not a competition thing. We just want to better ourselves and keep relevant and also put the best foot forward. When we go in to do a record, we probably write 30, 40 songs and then pick the best 12 out of those and throw the rest away, for lack of a better term. But we really just enjoy doing it. So it's less competition and just writing the best songs we can from the heart. We're not writing, hey, look, we're trying to write a single. We're just writing a good song, and then hopefully it is a good single, and go from there. And it's a blessing to be still doing this after almost 15 years being in Shinedown. It's pretty cool. I'm not complaining by any means.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. So you said new single probably dropping in June. Any idea probably this fall when the new album's going to be dropping, around that time?
September, late September, I believe.
Damn, there it is. Cannot wait for that, man. We can't wait to see you guys at Moondance Jam. Feels like it's been forever since we've seen Shinedown, and it's one of the best shows that you can possibly see.
Absolutely.
All right, Barry. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you in July, buddy.
All right, guys. We'll see you then. Thank you so much.